Don Jackson was the winner of the 2010 Ohio Soybean Association Soybean Yield Contest.
Winning soybeans was actually a little over 81 bushel. That was probably by far the best beans we'd ever raised.
Don's farm is near Camden in Preble County.
We farm corn and beans, half and half rotation on the corn and beans. Also contract finish hogs. My father helps me out. He's retired from farming, but he still helps me out when he can and what he can do. I've got another guy that works part-time for me. And then my middle son, Danny, he helps when he's not at work. The corn over there is the actual state line, so we're just almost a rock's throw from going across the state line. Actually, I do farm on the Indiana side too, so the state line splits our farm.
So how do you raise award-winning soybeans?
A lot of the factors, good fertility ground. One advantage of having the hog barn is getting the fertility and out of the manure of the hogs. To have good ground, get good genetics. Seed Consultants has a real good genetics seed to sell. And then one of the biggest things I still think attribute it to was actually able to get it planted there in the middle part of April last year. I still think if conditions are fit, we need to try to push and get these crops in as soon as we can anymore. I used some micronutrient spray. I actually sprayed fungicide last year. We ran a side-by-side check on the fungicides, and it actually had a 7 bushel response by using fungicide last year. Doesn't need very much of a yield response to pay for these, so we're trying to do some different things, see what we can do to try to raise these yields. I'm a seed rep for Seed Consultants. The variety was 9360. It's a 3.6 maturity. It was a new variety for last year, and it did so well, so of course I'm planting again this year.
Don actually learned about the contest after he had already planted his beans last year, but he entered as an incentive to try to increase his bean yields. He likes to see what the full potential is of his corn and beans.
This is my current contest field for this year. Like I said, the main disadvantage this year is we didn't get it planted till the 2nd or 3rd of June. As you can see, we're fairly behind on where we were last year as far as development, but for all the conditions for this year, we're actually sitting pretty good, although we are 2 to 3 weeks behind normal. We're getting ready I put Valor down in the fall to help hold we had a real nice fall there. I had a week in November, so we sprayed all our pre-emerge last fall. Thought we'd be ahead of the game this year. And then with the wet weather, I thought, well, maybe by not getting them planted and canopied soon enough, we might have weed problems. But actually, we don't have very many weed pressure yet. We're getting ready to make our Roundup application, and we'll be spraying a couple of the micronutrients here with it. Some Task Force and some Radiate on it too, to try to help stimulate these beans and get these beans a popping.
The Ohio AgNet served as a sponsor of the yield contest, so Don, along with his family and friends, received lunch from us, and we also broadcasted from his farm.